Welcome to our channel, where we explore the amazing world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving into the history and hidden treasures behind the United States quarter dollars from 1977, 1980 D, 1987 P, and 1991 D. Each of these coins may look ordinary at first glance, but some can be worth far more than their face value if you know what to look for. Let's begin with the 1977 quarter dollar. This coin features a classic Washington design, showing George Washington's profile on the obverse and the bold American eagle on the reverse. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark. Most of these coins are common, but collectors look for rare varieties, such as off-center strikes, double dies, and coins with strong mint luster. A pristine 1977 quarter in uncirculated or proof condition can fetch several dollars, while those with major minting errors have been sold for hundreds of dollars in auctions. The 1977 quarter dollar coin, officially known as the Washington quarter, is a significant piece of American numismatic history that represents a long era of U.S. coinage design and production. It was part of the continuous Washington quarter series that started in 1932 and remained in circulation for many decades. The 1977 quarter holds a special place among collectors and enthusiasts because it's San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia bear no mint mark. Denver coins are identified by a small D mark, and San Francisco coins have an S mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, while the San Francisco Mint created proof version for collectors. Each version of the coin reflects the same design, but their finishing quality differs based on the intended purpose circulation or collection. The obverse of the 1977 Washington quarter features the portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, designed by John Flanagan. The design shows Washington's profile facing left, with the word Liberty inscribed above his head, and the motto, "In God We Trust," placed to the left. Beneath Washington's image is the date 1977, marking the year of minting. This portrait was originally based on a bust sculpted by Jean-Antoine Houdon in the late 18th century and chosen to commemorate the bicentennial of Washington's birth. Flanagan's version became iconic, remaining largely unchanged for over 60 years. The simplicity and strength of the design reflect Washington's enduring legacy as a leader and symbol of American independence. The obverse design's clean, balanced composition makes it instantly recognizable to anyone familiar with U.S. coinage. On the reverse side of the coin, the 1977 quarter features an American bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive inscription represents the unity of the American states. The reverse design is bold and classic, embodying the values of strength, peace, and unity that the United States has long held dear. The 1977 quarter is composed primarily of a copper-nickel-clad alloy. Since 1965, the U.S. Mint had stopped using silver in its regular circulating quarters due to rising silver prices and switched to a copper core with an outer layer made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The total weight of the 1977 quarter is 5.67 grams, and its diameter measures 24.3 millimeters. It has a reeded edge, consisting of fine grooves that help prevent counterfeiting and also give the coin its distinct texture. The metallic composition gives the coin its characteristic silvery appearance, though it contains no actual silver. Because of this, most 1977 quarters hold only their face value unless they are in exceptional condition, proof strikes, or have minting errors. The 1977 quarter was part of a time when the U.S. Mint was still using coins still carried slight variations depending on the pressure, die wear, and planchet quality. This sometimes led to minor differences between coins, and these variations today can attract collectors, especially when they involve double dies, off-center strikes, or other unusual features. In terms of mintage, the 1977 Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 468 million quarters, while the Denver Mint struck around 256 million. The San Francisco Mint produced over 3 million proof coins, which were sold directly to collectors in special sets. The high mintage numbers make the 1977 quarter relatively common in circulation, but its condition determines its collector value. Coins that have been heavily used in show will usually hold only their 25-cent face value, while coins in uncirculated or mint state condition can fetch higher prices, especially if they have sharp details, strong luster, and no visible scratches. Proof versions of the 1977 quarter are particularly beautiful, featuring mirror-like fields and frosted details that showcase the artistry of the design. These proof coins were never intended for. While the 1977 quarter does not contain silver, it still holds nostalgic and historical value. It represents an era of stability in American coinage, just before the U.S. Mint began experimenting with new commemorative and state-themed designs in the late 1990s. The Washington Quarter series had by then become a familiar sight in every American's daily life. Its image of Washington had come to symbolize trust and tradition. Collectors often seek out high-grade examples of the 1977 quarter for registry sets, where coins are graded and rank collectors who specialize in mint errors. Another factor that affects the value of the 1977 quarter is its role in the transition period before the 50-state quarters program began in 1999. The 1977 issue represents a traditional design that had been used since 1932, unchanged except for the temporary bicentennial design in 1975 to 1976. After that brief change, the mint returned to the classic eagle reverse in 1977, which gave the coin a sense of continuity and familiarity for those who lived through the era. Over the decades, the 1977 quarter has remained a common coin in circulation, yet it continues to be cherished by many for its historical importance. Finding one in pocket change today can be a reminder of the past, a small piece of history from nearly 50 years ago that still carries value in everyday commerce. For new collectors, the 1977 quarter often serves as an accessible starting point, offering a glimpse into U.S. coin design and minting standards of the late 20th century. The coin's durability and iconic imagery make an enduring part of American culture. Even though millions of these quarters were minted, the idea that every coin carries the image of a founding father and national symbols makes each piece meaningful in its own right. Whether held as collectible or spent in daily transactions, the 1977 quarter remains a testament to the enduring clinking with other coins. The feel of its reeded edge and the gleam of its copper-nickel surface are small yet powerful reminders of the time when physical currency defined trade, savings, and everyday life. Though it is not rare, the 1977 quarter story is one of continuity, national pride, and timeless design. It bridges the gap between the early days of American coinage and the more modern commemorative series that followed. For those who look closely at every detail, from Washington's strong profile to the eagle's poised stance, tells a story of craftsmanship and symbolism. The 1977 quarter endures not merely as money, but as a legacy of American artistry, resilience, and unity that continues to circulate through history and memory. Next comes the 1980 D quarter dollar. The 1980 D quarter dollar is one of the interesting and widely circulated coins in the United States Mint, struck at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the D Mint mark located on the coin's obverse side, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. This coin belongs to the Washington Quarter series, a design that began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The Washington Quarter design was created by sculptor John Flanagan, who captured the image of George Washington from a bust originally sculpted by Jean-Antoine Hedon. The 1980 D quarter continues the traditional design, maintaining the classic profile of Washington on the front and the heraldic eagle on the back, which symbolizes strength, courage, and unity in the United States. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of George Washington, with the word Liberty inscribed above his head and the motto, "In God We Trust," placed on the left side of his neck. The year 1980 appears at the bottom center. The mint mark D for Denver is just beside the ribbon in Washington's hair. The reverse side of the coin shows an American eagle with its wings spread proudly, perched on a bundle of arrows, and beneath it is an olive branch, which represents a nation's desire for peace while maintaining readiness for defense. The words United States of America arc around the top edge, and the denomination quarter dollar is inscribed at the bottom, with E pluribus unum placed above the eagle's head. The coin is made primarily of a copper-nickel clad composition. Its outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This combination gives the coin its silver-gray color and resistance to wear and corrosion. The total weight of the coin is about 5.67 grams. Its diameter measures 24.3 millimeters, and its thickness is approximately 1.75 millimeters. The edges are reeded, with 119 small ridges encircling the coin's edge, a design feature originally used to discourage clipping or shaving of precious metal coins back when they were made of silver. The Denver Mint produced an extremely large number of 1980D quarters, over 518 million pieces in total, making it one of the more common issues of the Washington Quarter series. Because of the high mintage, most of these coins were used heavily in everyday transactions, meaning many of the surviving examples show noticeable wear. However, collectors value examples that remain in uncirculated or mint condition, especially those that show sharp details, full luster, and no signs of handling. In circulated condition, the coin generally has only face value, which is 25 cents. But in uncirculated grades, its value can increase depending on its condition, mint luster, and surface preservation. A typical 1980D quarter in mint state 60 grade might be valued around $1 to $2, while higher grade specimens, such as MS65 or better, can bring between $5 and $15, depending on market demand and eye appeal. Exceptional examples graded MS67 or MS68 by professional grading services like PGS or NGC can be worth hundreds of dollars, as such coins are extremely rare with pristine surfaces and full original mint shine. A small number of perfectly struck or error coins from the Denver Mint are also of great interest to collectors. Error varieties add additional fascination to the 1980D quarter. Some known mint errors include off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, die cracks, and coins struck on the wrong planchets. For example, a 1980D quarter struck on a nickel planchet, weighing less than normal and smaller in diameter, is highly collectible and can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on its condition. Other rare errors include clipped planchets, where a portion of the metal blank is missing, and die rotation errors, where the reverse design is misaligned relative to the obverse. Such minting mistakes happen rarely due to production mishaps, making them highly prized by collectors who specialize in U.S. Mint error coins. The condition of a 1980D quarter is usually graded on the Sheldon scale, ranging from poor P1 to perfect mint state MS70. A circulated coin typically shows flattened hair details on Washington's portrait, worn lettering, and a dull gray appearance. In contrast, an uncirculated coin should display full hair detail, crisp edges, and original mint luster, with no signs of circulation. Proof-like examples with sharp mirrored fields and frosty designs are uncommon for this mint, but they do exist as a result of fresh die strikes. It is worth noting that the Denver Mint did not produce any proof coins in 1980. All proof quarters for that year were made at the San Francisco Mint and bear the S Mint mark. From a historical perspective, the 1980D quarter represents a significant period in American coinage. It was struck during an era of economic change when inflation and the rising cost of precious metals had already led the U.S. Mint to adopt base metal compositions instead of silver for most coins. The copper-nickel-clad design introduced in 1965 had already proven effective and durable by the time the 1980D coin was made, ensuring the coin's longevity in circulation. The Washington quarter remained the standard design until 1998, after which the famous 50-state quarters program began in 1999, replacing the eagle reverse with designs representing each U.S. state. Thus, the 1980D quarter belongs to the final 2 decades of the traditional eagle-back quarter, marking the end of a long and consistent coinage era that spanned more than 65 years. For collectors, the 1980D quarter is an important piece of the modern Washington Quarter series. It helps bridge the gap between the classic silver issues of 1932 to 1964 and the later commemorative and state quarter designs. Many hobbyists include it as part of a full date and mint mark set, often placing it in coin albums designed for Washington quarters. Since the coin is relatively affordable and available in large quantities, it is a popular starting point for beginner collectors and an essential piece for those seeking a complete collection of late 20th century U.S. coins. While the 1980D quarter might not seem rare in general circulation, its value lies in its history, artistry, and role in America's economic and cultural landscape. Each coin carries with it the enduring legacy of George Washington's leadership, as well as the craftsmanship of John Flanagan design, that has stood the test of time. The Denver Mint's high-quality production ensured that these coins will continue to serve as an everyday reminder of the nation's heritage for decades. Collectors who take the time to study the subtle differences between strike quality, die states, and surface preservation can find great satisfaction, and sometimes even hidden treasures in a simple 1980 quarter. Even though billions of Washington quarters have been minted, each date and mint mark tells its own small story in the broader history of American coinage. The 1980 quarter remains a symbol of everyday commerce, craftsmanship, and continuity in U.S. monetary tradition, and in pristine condition, or as part of historical set. It continues to be appreciated by collectors and historians alike. Moving forward to the 1987 P. The 1987 P quarter dollar is one of the coins from the Washington Quarter Series, which has been in circulation since 1932. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, represented by the letter P mint mark. The 1987 P quarter is made primarily of a copper-nickel composition, consisting of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. Its total weight is 5.67 grams, and it measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge that adds a distinct tactile feature. The obverse or front side of the coin features a portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, designed by John Flanagan. Washington's profile faces left, and the inscriptions around him include the word liberty at the top, the phrase, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date, 1987, at the bottom. The letter P mint mark, identified as struck at the Philadelphia Mint, is located just beside the ribbon of Washington's hair. The reverse or backside of the coin displays the American bald eagle, a symbol of strength and freedom, clutching a bundle of arrows with its talons, signifying readiness for defense, while olive branches underneath represent the desire for peace. The inscriptions on this side include United States of America at the top, E pluribus unum just above the eagle, and quarter dollar at the bottom, showing the coin's face value. The 1987 P quarter was minted during a time when the U.S. Mint did not issue quarters for general circulation. Instead, the 1987 quarters were struck specifically for collector sets known as mint sets. This makes the 1987 P quarter somewhat special compared to other quarters from the 1980s, as none were released into everyday cash circulation. Collectors who purchased mint sets from the U.S. Mint in 1987 received uncirculated examples of these coins. The total mintage for the 1987 P quarter was approximately 4,227,792 coins, which is considered low compared to other Washington quarters from surrounding years that saw mintages in the hundreds of millions. Because of this limited production, the 1987 P quarter is often seen as a semi-key date in the modern Washington Quarter Series, particularly in uncirculated or pristine condition. When examining the 1987 P quarter, collectors often focus on strike quality, surface condition, and luster. Since these coins were not intended for circulation, many were preserved well and display strong details and brilliant mint luster. However, coins that have been removed from mint sets and handled improperly may show minor contact marks, scratches, or dull surfaces. Coins that have retained their original brilliance and show no where can be graded as mint state MS by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Common grades for these coins include MS 64 to MS 67, with higher grades like MS 68 being rare and more valuable. The 1987 P quarter does not have any major varieties, but collectors sometimes look for minor die breaks, die chips, or doubling in the lettering as potential mint errors, which can increase the coin's desirability and market value. In terms of value, the 1987 P quarter typically holds a modest premium above face value due to its limited release. In circulated condition, if found in pocket change, which is rare but possible, it would usually be worth its face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated examples from mint sets are more valuable. As of current market trends, uncirculated 1987 P quarters range between $1 to $5, depending on condition, and coins graded MS 67 or higher can bring in prices from $10 to $30 or more. If a coin displays exceptional toning or near-perfect surfaces, collectors may be willing to pay even higher amounts. Proof versions of the 1987 quarter were also produced at the San Francisco Mint with the S Mint mark, but those are separate and distinct from the 1987p circulation strike. Historically, the Washington Quarter Series was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design proved so popular that it became the standard quarter design, replacing the standing Liberty quarter. By 1987, the Washington Quarter had already become a staple in American coinage and everyday life. The 1987p quarter therefore represents not just a collectible year, but also a snapshot of the U.S. Mint's policy of limiting circulation strikes in certain years. During the mid-1980s, there was already a surplus of quarters in circulation due to overproduction in earlier years, which is why the U.S. Mint decided not to release quarters for regular use in 1987. Instead, collectors' demand was met through official mint sets, preserving high-quality examples of the coin for numismatic appreciation. The craftsmanship of the 1987p quarter remains a reflection of the mint's transition toward more modern production techniques during the 1980s. While earlier Washington quarters, especially from the 1930s to 1960s, were made of 90% silver, the copper-nickel composition introduced in 1965 continued in 1987, providing greater durability for circulation coins. Despite the absence of silver, the coin's design retained the classic aesthetic of the Flanagan original portrait, keeping traditional appearance consistent for decades until it was later modified slightly in the 1990s and replaced temporarily by the 50-state quarters program in 1999. Collectors and historians view the 1987p quarter as a transitional piece, a coin from a year when the mint paused regular circulation issues, creating a minor rarity within modern clad quarters. Its connection to Washington's enduring legacy, its limited mintage, and its exclusive mint set release make it a fascinating subject of study for coin enthusiasts. The coin's bright luster, clean surfaces, and sharp strikes, when preserved, reflect the quality that defined mint set coins of that period. Although not a high-value rarity in monetary terms, it holds significant historical and collectible interest, representing a unique moment in U.S. mint history and maintaining its place as an admired part of the Washington Quarter Series that continues to attract both new and seasoned collectors. Finally, we have the 1991 D quarter dollar from the Denver Mint. The 1991 D quarter dollar coin is one of the fascinating pieces in the long-running Washington Quarter Series, which has been a major part of American coinage since 1932. The letter D on the coin indicates that it was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the principal facilities of the United States Mint that produces coins for circulation. The 1991 D quarter is composed of copper-nickel clad over a pure copper core, a composition that has been standard for U.S. quarters since 1965, when silver was removed from circulation coins. The total weight of the coin is 5.67 grams. Its diameter measures 24.3 millimeters, and the edge of the coin is reeded with small grooves, a feature originally designed to prevent clipping or shaving off bits of precious metal from the edge back when coins contain silver. On the obverse side of the coin is a familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. This portrait first appeared on the Washington Quarter in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The image shows Washington facing left with a calm and dignified expression. Above his head is the word Liberty, while to the left side of his neck near the rim is the motto "In God We Trust." Just below Washington's portrait is the mint mark D, denoting that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, and the date 1991 appears at the bottom. Over the decades, this design has become one of the most iconic in American coinage, representing stability, patriotism, and history. The reverse side of the 1991 D quarter features the heraldic eagle design that was used from 1932 until 1998. The eagle is shown with its wings spread wide, symbolizing strength and freedom, holding a bundle of arrows in its talons, which represent readiness to defend the nation, and beneath it are two olive branches symbolizing peace. The words United States of America curve along the top edge of the coin, while the denomination quarter dollar appears at the bottom. Between the eagle's wings is the national motto, E Pluribus Unum, a Latin phrase meaning out of many one, reflecting the unity of the states within the nation. During 1991, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins for general circulation. The exact mintage number was approximately 630 million quarters, meaning that the coin is relatively common in everyday use. However, collectors value these coins in high-grade conditions, especially those that have never been used and remain in brilliant uncirculated or mint state condition. Coins that have been certified by professional grading services, such as PCGS or NGC, and received a high grade, especially MS67 or higher, can carry a premium value. While most circulated examples are only worth their face value of 25 cents, pristine uncirculated examples may be worth several dollars, and rare examples with exceptional strike quality, full luster, and minimal surface marks can be valued even higher among collectors. Like all modern clad coins, the 1991 D quarter is made with a combination of metals designed to withstand heavy use in circulation. The outer layers are 75% copper and 25% nickel, while the core is pure copper. This combination not only gives the coin its characteristic silvery color, but also provides durability and resistance to corrosion. Despite not containing any silver, the coin has historical and numismatic significance because it represents a part of the long-running Washington Quarter series before the design changes of the late 1990s and early 2000s. In terms of historical context, the 1991 D quarter belongs to an era before the major redesign of U.S. circulating coinage. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched a 50-state quarters program, which replaced the traditional eagle reverse with a series of designs representing each of the 50 states. The 1991 D quarter, therefore, marks one of the final years of the original eagle reverse design before the dramatic shift in the coin's appearance. This makes it an interesting piece for collectors who focus on the pre-statehood Washington quarters, representing the closing chapter in an era that lasted for more than 6 decades. Collectors often seek to find the 1991 D quarter in special conditions, such as proof-like or error varieties. Though most 1991 D quarters are common, some minting errors can make certain examples rare and valuable. Possible error types include off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, and coins with missing clad layers. Such error coins are usually worth more, depending on their rarity and the visibility of the mistake. For example, a 1991 D quarter with a visible double die on either the obverse or reverse can sell for a premium among error coin collectors. Another aspect that draws attention to the 1991 D quarter is its role in everyday American life. Quarters are among the most frequently used coins in the U.S., often found in vending machines, parking meters, and daily transactions. Despite being produced in vast numbers, they circulate widely and tend to show wear quickly, so finding one in mint condition from circulation can be somewhat uncommon. Coin collectors often look for uncirculated rolls or mint sets issued by the U.S. Mint to obtain pristine examples of the 1991 D quarter. While the coin may not contain precious metals, its numismatic appeal lies in its place in American coin history, its craftsmanship, and its connection to the Washington design legacy. It stands as a symbol of the nation's continuity, being part of a series that survived decades of economic change, technological advancement, and evolving minting practices. The Denver Mint, where this coin was produced, is known for its large-scale production and high standards of minting, ensuring that the 1991 D quarter maintains a sharp and detailed appearance when struck properly. In terms of design details, the lettering, portrait, and eagle on the 1991 D quarter remain faithful to John Flanagan's original design, though minor adjustments have been made over the decades to improve die life and striking consistency. On some coins, the strike quality can vary, and sharper strikes with full details on Washington's hair, and the eagle's feathers are more desirable to collectors. Coins with full, clean rims and bright luster are considered higher quality and can command better prices on the collector's market. The 1991 D quarter also reflects the economic and cultural stability of the early 1990s in the United States. During this period, the quarter was a crucial part of everyday commerce, and its design and durability made it an essential piece of currency in circulation. While today it may appear as just another ordinary coin, its historical and collectible value becomes clearer when seen as part of the broader timeline of American coinage. It captures a moment in time before the great wave of commemorative and state-themed designs that redefined modern U.S. coin collecting. Overall, the 1991 D quarter dollar stands as a durable and historically significant piece of American coinage. It embodies a long legacy of the Washington Quarter Series, the craftsmanship of the Denver Mint, and the values symbolized by the nation's design traditions. Though common in circulation, it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors who appreciate the history, design, and meaning behind every detail of the coin. In high-grade condition, it remains an attractive collectible, serving as a reminder of the artistry and consistency that have defined U.S. coin production for generations.